And Republic has accessed exclusive details of the NCB charge sheet that was filed in the Sushant Singh case. That was the drugs investigation, to be more specific. And we've accessed details of what the NCB has found out in the case of both Rhea Chakraborty, Shovik, Dipesh Sawant, and the entire lot that was questioned. Some of them were also taken into custody. Shawan joining us with the details that he's picking up. Shawan, what more can you tell us? Rhea Chakraborty, what we understand, is accused number 10 in this charge sheet, specifically against Rhea and Shovik. What are the evidences and what has the NCB said in the charge sheet?
Well, in fact, Niranjan, before I get into the details that we have accessed with regards to Rhea Chakraborty and Shovik Chakraborty is concerned, the other important details of this particular charge sheet that has been filed by the Narcotics Control Bureau is the very fact that they have got certain test reports that were essentially done. Because if you remember, there have been certain accused who were called in for questioning by the Narcotics Control Bureau, and immediately after that, they said that these were not drugs that were basically recovered from their residence, rather they were cigarette butts that were basically recovered by the Narcotics Control Bureau. Now, just to prove their point, what the Narcotics Control Bureau has essentially done is they've sent the same material for further forensic check, and test reports have come in. The test reports have been attached with this particular charge sheet, and all test reports indicate that they are positive as far as narcotics substances are concerned. So that is in itself an important factor that has been included in the charge sheet that has been filed. There are 7 kgs of drugs that have been, we are being told. Now, with regards to Rhea Chakraborty and Shovik Chakraborty, what the NCB essentially maintains, and I'm quoting from the charge sheet that we have basically accessed, they say that they have enough evidence to basically prove that Rhea Chakraborty was essentially part of a drug syndicate. In fact, they've also been able to put together transactions from Rhea Chakraborty's HDFC bank account, which goes on to indicate that she was purchasing narcotics substances, and she, along with her brother Shovik Chakraborty, had got certain narcotic substances delivered at her residence. So they have been able to put out those evidence with respect to the seizure that has been made. And not just that, there are also digital evidence. When I say digital evidence, it essentially means there are WhatsApp conversations between Rhea Chakraborty as well as Shovik Chakraborty with regards to certain narcotics substances. And more importantly, there are other people who are basically involved in these conversations that have essentially taken place.
Okay. Now, in the course of this entire investigation, and we've reported every aspect of the story, Shawan, including the chats, the recoveries. Now, what does the NCB believe? Now, all of this that has been submitted in the form of a charge sheet in front of the NDPS court, will it stand? And what does this mean? What do the findings mean against Rhea, Shovik, Dipesh Sawant, and all of them who are questioned, who are linked in the Sushant Singh Rajput case?
Well, Niranjan, it's also important to point out what Rhea's lawyers have been saying, because somewhere down the line they essentially feel that this charge sheet is nothing but a damn squib. In fact, they are saying that the recovery that has been made is hardly anything, and it would certainly not stand the scrutiny of the court. What they are essentially heavily relying on is that this case was based on certain statements that were basically recorded that were basically not in, they are inadmissible before the court, and this is as per the Evidence Act. So they believe that this entire charge sheet that has been prepared by the Narcotics Control Bureau would not stand the scrutiny of the court. Now, this is the position that has been taken by Rhea Chakraborty's lawyers. Now, putting into perspective what the Narcotics Control Bureau has to say, they say that yes, this entire investigation essentially began on the statements that were given by characters like Samuel Piranda as well as the big stars. You've had Deepika Padukone and several others who were called in for questioning, and this is exactly where Rhea
have put the names of the top Bollywood personalities who were basically called in for questioning. Now, there is a counter already coming in from the Narcotics Control Bureau. At least our sources have been saying that, the investigation is still underway and a supplementary charge sheet would also be filed.
Thank you for joining us with those inputs.